in here and you're out there, and I say you piss me off.
So, all right. Okay, I'm early. I'm early. I didn't think I was gonna do this anymore. I don't. But yeah, I don't know. Here I am. I am. This is something I've been really questioning lately. Here I am. I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait. Because I don't want to say it twice. Hmm. We're having a tropical depression. It's just a rainy day. It isn't even a lot of wind. I thought about going and doing this outside because it's not really hot. Right now, it's not raining at all. Okay. So, I've been thinking about this eye. Honey, can you shut that door? Can you shut the door? Thank you. Hi, Cher. Good to see you here. Shut the door. Shut the front door. I think it was Ellen that said that first. Anyway, okay, so what I've been really thinking about is this me that we believe we are. The way I see it is, and see if this resonates for you, is we take on as a baby, or 18 months old or whatever, because actually, today's the 4th. Eli, our baby boy, is 13 months old today, a year and a month. And there's no me inside of him. There's no idea of a me. There's no ego yet. The me is the ego. It's a bunch of thoughts about a me named Lori. Identification. That's the very first identification. This body is a me. This me acts as if it's a wall inside. And it's built up of all these identities. And like, I'm a woman. I'm 5 feet 4 inches. I've got gray hair now. I. And it also gets attached to people and things. And as we're each attachment becomes part of the me, like my money, my house, my husband. And if any of that my is threatened, it's uncomfortable. It hurts and it will fight, fight, fight. And that's what fighting life is, not flowing. Because this little me is literally made up of thoughts. It's not even real. That's why they call this the dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. They right from childhood we were shown that it's a dream. And my baby Eli, my latest grandchild, that's his favorite book. Every day. That's He loves that book. So that's why it's beautiful to be around babies, because along with this idea of a me, these thoughts about a Lori, a me, comes, I can do it wrong. This me can do it wrong. Or other me's are doing it wrong. That belief causes so much thought inside, beating it up, saying, I can do it wrong. And it hurts. It doesn't appreciate it. The me doesn't appreciate the body because it's not enough. Because along with this idea of a me, the very first thought, I am this body, is I'm not enough. Because we feel separate. We know there's something missing. We feel separate from God, which isn't a man in the sky damning us to hell for eternity because of the bad things we do. God is, okay, for me, it is an energy. Actually, I like to liken it to the wind. You will never see the wind, but it moves everything. Moves the trees, moves the waves, makes the waves on the water. That's another thing. The waves. This little me that we believe we are could be, you could look at it as a wave that comes up for a time and goes back into the wind, back into the nothingness. We take on this identity for a lifetime, but that's in the timeline. The me is in a timeline. It's a birth and death timeline, which doesn't really exist. It's only for the dream, the separated me. When Dad and Mom died, it was the most beautiful recognition that they were not those bodies. When I saw them as the bodies, it hurt. We are not separate. We are one. Think of it as the wind. There's no beginning, no end. It's just blowing. and there's, if you stop and realize these hands, the words, none of this is rehearsed. It's just happening. All of life is just happening, but it gets filtered through the idea of a me. And if something comes to threaten that me, fight, anger. We were watching a show last night. It was about a black girl who same with the wave, part of the whole ocean. Exactly. It was never separate. It never was separate. The wave part is the dream. Believing it's separate and on a timeline of birth and death. It's not true. This girl in this movie was living two different lives. She was in a tough part of the black neighborhoods in this, and her parents wanted more for her. Her mom pushed them to go to a different school, brought them to a different school, and she ended up, she was living two different lives. This upscale school and her home life there was a lot of drugs and a lot of suppression and everything, and how she had to navigate this. And then her dearest friend from childhood was in a shooting. A cop shot. It was a misunderstanding, a complete misunderstanding. He picked up a brush, and the cop thought it was a. He reached in the car and he thought he picked up a gun. So the cop shot him, which is, I could see both sides. Hi, Cynthia. I could see both sides of the whole situation and how she stood for um, the Black lives, but needing to fight for the me. I like her friend would say something and it would trigger the me as they said something wrong because every reaction we have, negative reaction to what's happening, is a misunderstanding within. It's hit the me, that wall of an identity of a person that isn't even there. That's why life doesn't flow as well, because we believe that we are these me's, these bodies. And when you see that you are not, you are so much more than this body. You are the love. Okay, there's another thing that I heard this week. The guy, it was saying he read the paper. Nobody reads the paper. Think about that. You read you. What's being read is letters and words on a paper. Nobody sees the paper. That was profound. I just went, whoa, that's a beautiful way. We are the paper, if you want to say. That's another analogy. Behind all of what's seemingly happening, we are the one watching it all. It's a screen. It's literally a movie screen. Life is a movie screen going by how you're thinking and believing. I'm writing a book. I wrote it after the scam. That whole first part. That's what kept me sane, was typing it all out, word for word, everything that happened. Hi, Margie. And now I've made it into, now that mom and dad have passed, there's been so much more clarity. So I'm dropping into feeling into everything. I mean, there's been so much happening where there'll be a thought process and then boom, that happened. What? Wow. Like a very dear friend of mine I was very close with when we first moved here. I did a lot for her. Peter and I both did a lot for her. We became very good friends. And she took me all over. I drove her all over the place. And her, in the end, her kids were lying to her. And I forgot that they were lying to her about the hurricane that happened here. And I, she asked me to do something for her. And I said, wait a minute. I said, that all got taken away in the flood. And she goes, what flood? And I went, oops. And then, of course, the son blasted me about how, not blasted me, but, basically reprimanded me because I was supposed to keep that secret. So I said, I can't be part of this anymore. The lying thing, I can't do it. I can't lie blatantly. I mean, what? So there was a thought that came last Monday, sitting right here. A thought of her came, and I went, I wonder if those kids would even tell me, because I was very close. I met them all, the grandkids, the great grandkids, all of them. Had a blast with all of them. And then when this happened, I told the son that I just can't do this. I can't. So the thought was, would they tell me about it if she died? This was Monday. So I get a text in the night. I was asleep. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, which I usually do, but I didn't. And I got a text that woke me up, and it was my girlfriend Lee, who I met through this woman. And she goes, "Did you get this?" Which was this woman's obituary. And I went, "What?" I said, "Nope, I didn't get it, but thank you very much." And Peter goes, "What are you talking to at 11 o'clock at night?" He was waking up, And I said, "Lee just sent me a thing about my girlfriend, Pat's death." And I went, I just had that thought yesterday. And then I looked at my phone and it was like, no, it's only 11 o'clock. It was today. Earlier today, I had that thought. And then something else. There were three things that happened during this week of how a thought came. You have the initial thought, and then there's a grabbing on, and it goes into something, and then it's let go. There were three different things that happened. And I was like, what is happening? But that is on the screen. Okay. All right. Think about, I don't know if any of you guys know anything about video games at all. My kids played a lot of video games. So you can think of it as this character, this me, is in the game. And who you are, the wind, the wave, the ocean, is back watching it all. It's not happening to a me. None of it is happening to a me. We're not in the game. Like Jesus said, you can be in it, but not of it. You can be the watcher of it. And then when you don't take anything personally, the me takes everything personally. It filters. That's what I'm saying. That me, that all those thoughts of a me is like a wall inside that things hit. But this wall really isn't there. It's just a bunch of thoughts. It's not real. It's not reality. Life is just happening. And if it's not happening to a me, where's the problem? There is no problem. The only problem is believing that you are this person and life is happening to you. You're a victim of it. And we're not victims. The little me goes through life afraid and bouncing, defending. And when you see that you are the screen, the paper that was never read, never even seen. Because when you're reading a paper or reading a book, you don't see the paper, it's the letters. I don't know. Am I clear? Is this clear? Or is it? I don't know. When this was first brought to me, non duality, I was so confused, trying so hard to understand. Don't try to understand through your mind. Just feel. Feel what it feels like to maybe not be this me. And the other me's aren't me's either. They are waves on the ocean. We've never been separate from the ocean. After the wave of, say, the lifetime of the me in the dream, this is the dream or the character in the play, in the video game. It dies. It lives and dies. It has so many lifetimes in the video game. this essence, like after mom and dad died, those bodies, the aliveness was gone. But those bodies were still there. The aliveness, where did it go? Where could it go? Back into all that is. And maybe it'll pick up another life, belief in a life. Who knows? I don't know. They talk about reincarnation, but I don't know. I don't know these past life things. I've never had that happen. I've never done any past life regression. I can't talk about it, but that I've had the experience of flowing with life and synchronicities happening all over the place. And that's the aliveness that you are. That when you're not believing you're this character in the dream, in the video game, in life, you flow with it. There's no resistance to it. Anything it resists you, the Margie, the Cynthia, the Sherry. Each resistance is what's creating the idea that this is real because it hurts. But that's your point where you can wake up and see nobody's doing anything to you. Nobody's ever hurt you. You, who you really are, has not. Nothing here. Nothing here hurts. Nothing. It's only when it hurts, you know you're thinking and believing you are this me. And when you see through it, nice. Then it's fun. It's not taken so serious. You can laugh about anything, even your husband shitting. It's not happening to me on this video. The best part is not taking anything serious, even if someone dies. When mom and dad passed, there has been zero sadness. It's just been gratitude and love. Actually, mom and I did not get along because of my thoughts about her. I wasn't seeing clearly. And now that she's gone, I feel her. She didn't go anywhere. And now when I think about her, I'm not thinking about all the judgment she had for me, which was my own judgment. Yes, we feel something is wrong, and that's the separation. That never happened. When you feel that it's wrong, you know you're identified with the person, which isn't real. It's the dream. It's the timeline of birth and death. I mean, which hurts. I'm going to die. For the me, that's painful. And other people around are going to die. The people that it's attached to that thinks it needs to be okay. Now, this, if something happens to Peter, is going to be challenged big time for me, for Lori. Hoping it will be like mom and dad, where the gratitude and love for him just being him, making me laugh, being such a big support, even through the scamming. He had every right. Everybody was telling him, leave her. Get the hell out. She's lost it. Yeah, he had every right. Because I wasn't believing what anybody was saying. And I see that it was for me. There's been so much more humility and love after going through all of those shitty emotions, believing that I did something very wrong. That is the most painful experience, when you believe you've done something, or even believing somebody's done something wrong to you. I'm a victim of Frank, the scammer. If I believed I was a victim, it hurt big time. When you believe you're a victim of anybody, check it out. Don't take my word for it. Think about somebody you believe did you wrong, or is doing you wrong now, or is doing life wrong. Just that thought hurts. And it's your body is showing you by it hurting that what you're thinking and believing is not the truth. Because that person is there for you to wake up to this, that we're not separate. We are them. And when we project they're doing it wrong on them, we are hurting us. We are believing that hurts, that causes the pain and suffering. But you can either believe that pain and suffering is concretizing the idea of a me, or you can say, oh, wait a minute, that hurts. I'm believing I'm this me right now. And that person is separate from me. It's not true. We are the wind. We are the ocean. We are the paper. Back here, watching it all. And it can't be separate. Nothing is separate. God created everything. God, life, whatever you want to call it, created it all. That's another thing I heard. If he created it all, then he created the devil. You love this. Thank you, Cher. So the devil was created by God. He created everything, right? What's the devil? What is the devil? Could it be that little voice, that little me inside that takes everything personally and wants to attack? You've done me wrong. You're bad. When you're pointing the finger at somebody else, 3 more are pointing back at you. Nobody's doing anything wrong, even if it looks like it, convincing. Like, I don't know, say a little kid has been molested. There's the victim and the perpetrator. That's in the dream. Neither one is being hurt. Neither one. That is for you to wake up. When you judge the perpetrator and the poor victim, you're believing in this whole dream. And it hurts. It's that simple. But our minds make it all complicated because it wants to believe what its eyes see. But we don't see with our eyes. We are seeing through this filtration system of a me, bunch of thoughts. Like, say somebody said something to me, said, okay, well, back in the day, when I was young, I was criticized this for my nose, the size of my nose. And I didn't want to be side view to anybody. Talk about painful. Anyway, when I first met Bob Strout, which is my daughter-in-law's dad, he's like, no, wait a minute. Sorry, that's not. When I first met him, he talked about me talking too much. Do you ever shut up? Oh, that was so painful. Because I believed I talked too much. I believed this me talked too much. So anything that would come and hit it, it was like, oh, what an ass. I didn't like him the very first day, of course. And now I can laugh with him because I know I talk a lot. But I love that about Lori. She's and the book that I'm writing is all in third person. It's all Lori, she, they. It's not first person in any of it. It's so it's it's coming out. Mm, it's coming through. I'm not writing it. It's coming through these fingers. It's beautiful. Anyway, um, but my nose in high school was called uh one of the Mike Salvale in high school, Brunswick High School, called me Roman Nose. And then he changed it to Eson Namor, which was Roman nose backwards. I wrote about this in the book this week. And that used to be so painful. So painful. And I hated him. All that hate concretized the idea of a me here. Up is Betty. Every morning, I have a lady that I love very much that sends me a beautiful message every single morning. She doesn't miss a morning. Anyway, the Roman nose. Yeah. So now that's not even a, I don't give a shit. That's just what this is. So in this dream, as the veils start letting go, it's about coming to love your me, loving her, him, whatever, for the for everything that it believes is wrong about it. If you just love it, then love can't be taken away because it's always been here. That love, that essence, you could call it love. I don't like to call it love because we've, that's another thing. Oh my God, this one's going to be longer. We watched this thing called Ashley Madison. We don't watch, that's on Netflix, and it's about a .com. It was like a dating, a site for married people who want to cheat on their spouses. This thing was massive, and it was all over the morning news. It was showing. God, I don't even know where to. I got so many thoughts in here. I can't even. You saw that, right, Cher? It's like people were so. Okay, we get in our little ruts of routine, and then the idea of boredom comes up, and we don't see the aliveness in life anymore. We're so stuck in our routines. We're not in awe of everything that's happening or seeming to happen in the dream. So, and then all these people, it got breached. I didn't know anything about this because I don't watch the news, and I haven't for like 25 years or more. And it was coming out. They got hacked. So people's lives were blown up, but I got to see clearly that how the whole idea of another person, because that's what the me looks for. It looks for and something outside of itself to bring love to it, like another person. That's why infidelity happens all the time. We don't even know why. We don't even know why, because we're looking for love in the cars, in the house, in the drugs, in the alcohol, in the houses, in the money, in the another person, validating it. Plastic surgery. I was talking to a dear friend of mine who is a guy, and we talked about this Ashley Madison thing yesterday, and he was talking about how he was women who are getting plastic surgery and they say it's because they to love themselves more, or because they love themselves. That is not true. And he sees it clearly too. If you love yourself, you don't need to alter a thing here. It's accepting all of it. not hating any part of it, accepting and loving it. That's it. That's literally the bottom line to all of it. When you love and accept yourself for who you are in this dream, that's all there is. Mom and dad didn't take any love away from me. To me, it's just filled me up more. There's no grief. It's just love and gratitude for who they made. They made this Lori, gave her the name Lori, gave her the nose Lori. All comes from them. The nose was my dad. And when I think of him, the kindness, the love, I mean, he bitched too. He was a complainer, but he loved people and people loved him. He was, I, I got all of that from him. I'm so grateful he was my dad. But there was a time when I couldn't please him. I looked for his approval, could not get it. I didn't need it. The whole time, I didn't need it. You don't need anybody's approval, just your own. Just your own when you love yourself. This me. It doesn't matter what anybody says or does. They all love you. Every single other person loves you because they're that love. They just don't know it. They just don't know that they are their love. They are love too. They just don't realize it. Eventually, we're all going to realize it. And it might be on our deathbed, just like Mom saying, I lived Gloria's life, not mine. On her. The day before she died, she realized that. She lived Gloria's, the little me's life, not her own. She was afraid of everybody trying to take from her. Yeah. But that was just the me. Maybe she'll jump into another body. I swear to God that Dad jumped into Eli's body because that baby laughs so easily. And I love that thought. I love the thought that Dad is in Eli's body. Dad. That's as if Dad was separate. I'm going to have to think about that one. If anybody comes up with anything for that one. Because that's the idea of Dad is still separate coming into Eli's body. Well, the spirit of Dad, the essence of Dad, the aliveness of Dad. I don't know. That one's going to be working in there. I'm sure. Because that's what it does when a new thought comes, a new inspiration comes. There's a working it out. It seems to like go down. I don't know. But obviously this one's got me. Got me. It's got Lori thinking. Love it. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's done. I love that you guys are here with me. You saw that. You saw that. Yeah, it just went. Whoop. Yeah, this tropical depression or whatever is going up the Gulf. We've had worse thunderstorms, thank God. And that's what our weatherman said. It's not. It's not. They said we were supposed to have a shit ton of rain too, and that hasn't happened either. So we doing good. Lots of gems today. I know, Cher. Thank you for being here. All of you. And love you. Whoever watches this after I watch it, I see it go up after. I wish it won't let me pin it anymore. I like to pin it at the top of my thing, each new one. But I upload it to YouTube and who knows. Anyway, I love you all because you are another me. Have a great rest of your week, rest of your Sunday and week. Oh, I feel that, Cynthia. Your daughter didn't go anywhere. She's right in your heart. Have a good one. Bye.